All right, everybody. Hey, and welcome. It is Monday, March 4th, and we are here for the executive director call, or the ED call as we like to call it. And I wanted to start today with a quote I heard on the movie Dune that just really hit home. And it was on leadership, and it said, "A great man doesn't seek to lead, he's called to it, and he answers. And if your answer is no, you'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be." It was this beautiful discussion between a father and a son on what it means to lead. And so just want to honor you who are on the call today. You are a leader and you deserve to be here. You deserve to be on this call. And you've answered that call. So we've had lots of things happen and be announced recently. So wanted to create some space for any questions about things that are going on or things that you wanted to make sure we discussed today. Does anybody have any thoughts?
Well, the best way to promote the new Commit to Health that is not salesy.
I like that. Okay. And the Commit to Health, if you haven't heard, is the new incentive that just got launched the beginning of the month, where we have $75 extra off that we are able to provide to clients that are new or haven't ordered in 180 days. So Beth wants to talk about the best ways to promote that's not transactional or salesy. I think that's a great question and idea. Any other ideas or things you want to make sure we discuss today? Yeah, Linda.
So I learned something new from Dee just a few days ago that maybe everybody else knows, but for the client support bonus, to bring on either a new client or a reactivated client, you only need to have like $150 order. And I didn't realize that. And I actually confirmed it with coach support. And I used the number 175 because then at least that's a conversation point with them, like, oh, it's only $7 shipping. So just in case there's anybody else out there that didn't realize that would count as like a new client.
That's a great point. Thank you, Linda. So yeah, anybody that an order now qualifies if it's $150 in PQV. And that was due to the medically supported weight loss. They wanted to make sure that new medically supported weight loss clients would still allow you to qualify for the Client Support Plus bonus. So that's kind of the reasoning behind that. It's a great point. And Lucy said in the chat, "I have definitely targeted my focus on inactives because it doesn't come across as sales because you know what their needs are." And that's a good point. I like that. And Shauna asked, I think it was Shauna. No, Gina asked, the last order would be rolling in, looks like August 31st. And it changes every day, from now until April 12th, which the promotion is going through. But I love that. Anything else? Emily said she'd love to know what people are putting their clients on who are doing injections, because she has a client who can't eat all the food on the 5-in-1. So that's a good one. Does anybody have any clients right now that they're coaching that are on medically supported weight loss injections? Beth, can you tell us what's worked for you?
Sure. With her, we talked about it, and it's easier for her to get her lean and green in the morning. So she's been doing that. She likes eggs. So we talked about doing the egg cups and things like that. And then I shared with her the egg wraps. She liked that idea because that 2 wraps count as 1 green. So she liked that. And also putting some spinach and things into her shake. So she does 1 lean and green, and then she does 3 of the protein shakes. And that's all she gets her water in, and that's all she can get in. She cannot do the 5-in-1. And the days like right before she's supposed to do her next shot, she says she's a little hungrier, so she's eating like a bar that day till she gets her shot. So, but that's what's worked for her.
So she's doing the 3-in-1.
Yeah,
Doing
thank you.
3-in-1. Is that helpful at all, Emily?
Yes, very helpful. Thank you.
Gina, she's doing the whey protein shakes. Because I got her to ask, she's on with LifeMD, and I got her to ask LifeMD, and they said she needs at least 100 grams of protein a day. So that would be something to make sure that they know how many grams they need to have per day.
Cool.
And yeah, the shakes are easier because, like I said, she's been throwing spinach into her shakes and kale or something else. I can't remember.
Awesome. And Debbie, I saw you had your hand raised, but it's gone now.
Well, yeah, I switched over from my phone to my laptop when I got home. So he's no longer on the shots. So I have a client who did the shots, and the nurse that had him on that reduced his dosage so that he could eat more. So she's very pro getting that nutrition in. I don't know how it is in Georgia, like I don't know if you have to do it through a doctor or what, but I know that I have a nurse practitioner who has her own practice here, and that's what her specialty is helping people balance their hormones and do the semaglutide and all the other drugs. But anyway, that I know that, I don't know how it works with WebMD, but I know that, potentially they could adjust their dose down if that is too much, if it's impacting their appetite too much.
Yeah, my client's actually just started, so she's in her first month of the lowest dose, and she's supposed to do the next increased dose, I think, next week. So
Thanks for that feedback. Shauna.
So I don't know if this would help with your clients. It helps with my clients who are bariatric. I've come up with a shake that is an entire lean and green meal in a shake, and they break it up between places in the day. And so I'm happy to share that with you if you want. I mean, I've had clients, it's like game changer for them. Do you want me to tell you what's in it? It's a full serving of yogurt. So it would be, that's their lean. So what is that, like I don't know how much it is, but it's a full serving of the yogurt. At least 2 cups of spinach. If it's frozen, they can do 1.5 cups, and that's their full green. 2 cups of spinach would be 2 of their greens. I still need to get a third one in somewhere. A shake, a fueling. So there's a fueling in it. Unsweetened almond milk for the liquid. And, like some of them will put stevia in it or something like that. And they're just blending it and making it in the morning. And so if they drink part of it in the morning, they've knocked out their first fueling of the day and part of their lean and green. And they can break it up into thirds, and then they have a fueling 2 hours later. And then at lunch, they would have part of the shake with no fueling. And then, this is if they're on a 4 and 2, they'd have to have a fueling with it. And then they'd have another fueling, and then part of the shake for dinner, and then another fueling after that. I mean, you can kind of figure it out when you realize what's in the shake, but it seems less daunting for them to drink that shake than to eat. And as long as they can get their spinach in it and they can tolerate that much spinach every day, they can usually do pretty good on that. I've had clients who've had bariatric surgery who they couldn't even eat the lean and green meal. Mm-hmm. So they do this some days of the week, and some days of the week they split up their meals all day long.
Awesome.
And Shauna, there's a request in the chat to see if you could put that recipe in the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do that.
It'd be awesome. Never thought of that before. Thanks for sharing.
I know it is easier to drink. So the guy that I have that just got off the shots, he was even like with the potatoes, he was watering it down and drinking it. Like everything, he just thought it was easier to drink than to eat.
Can I mention something? The information that we've been given, and then also things that I've read outside as far as the muscle loss and bone density loss that people tend to have on these particular medications. It happens because of them not being able to eat enough food and not getting enough protein for one thing, but just not enough food in general. And so, but with doing the combinations like you guys are talking about, especially incorporating that whey protein, like what Beth was talking about, because it has that higher amount of protein in it, and then and breaking things up throughout the day is a lot better because they're not able to have as much, and if they eat too much, they get nauseated. That medicine makes them nauseated if they overfill their stomach. So, and it doesn't take long. So, so that is a good way to incorporate. I mean, normally when they're in weight loss, we're not incorporating that the whey protein, but on the instructions for our medical weight loss, they are incorporating those. And that made perfect sense when I was looking at all the data, because we want to minimize the negative aspects of the drugs that are occurring regardless, because they don't feel that. They don't know that they're losing bone mass. They don't know that they're losing muscle. They just see the scale go down and the inches go down. They don't realize that they're, causing, that actually makes you age faster, which we don't want, and we want people to feel younger, longer, and thriving, and they do with our program normally. So, so we have to kind of adjusting the things like you guys are doing is excellent. I don't have anybody right now. I'm looking for them. I don't have anybody right now that's on the injections, because I'm like, I want the ones that are on the injections because I know I can help them. All of us, they need us because they need that portion of it. So they need to be reaching out to us. So that's a good thing.
Always love when you share, Kelly, as our resident nutritionist, and you have like just the fire in your belly. Just is so great to hear. And that Dee and I were on a leadership call with corporate last week, and one of the things that they announced, one of the studies that we've seen, is most people gain their weight back on these shots within a year. So if they don't have us, if they're not talking to anybody, if they're just, doing the shots, losing weight, they are typically gaining their weight back within 12 months, which is staggering. So another reason why they really need us. There is no magic pill, no magic shot out there.
I did recently have a client last year who she had lost weight with me and was maintaining, and then she had slowly gained some weight back. And mainly it was because she had, incorporated some of her old habits back and that kind of thing. Well, she had gained like 20 pounds. So all her little friends were getting on these injections, and she found a physician that would provide the injection, even though she really didn't qualify, technically. And so she was doing it, but she did notice she had some massive headaches with it. And so that's another thing that I had not heard other people talk about, but she said, I'm having some massive headaches with it. And so she was on it for about 3 months total. She was planning on being on it for a couple months. She was on it 3 months total. She lost the 20 pounds that she wanted to lose, and that was it. And I kept telling her, just come back to me. I can help you with the nutrition piece of it. I'm taking care of her husband, and her husband was very upset. He did not want her to do that. But she's, she's very, independent person. She's going to do what she's going to do. And I told him, I said, don't worry about it. Let her do what she's doing. She's going to, and so it'll be fine. She'll be good. We'll get it situated. And so she's been talking to me about it though. So I feel like the door is open, and so that's good just for her to be aware. But she told me, I'm just eating what I want to. I'm just eating a lot less. And it's like, well, that's the problem. It's because they're not getting enough nutrition. They're eating the pastas and the rice and all that stuff that's not nutritionally, it's not giving them a whole lot of stuff. So just be aware of that. It does matter what we're eating. Just eating less doesn't fix it.
That's a great point, Kelly. Lucy had a question in here that asked if Optavia will consider introducing fuelings that are 100% plant-based. I haven't heard of that. But if we do hear of that in the pipeline, Lucy, we will certainly share that information. Debbie.
I just was curious. I've heard about the sarcopenia associated with being on the GLP-1s, but I had not heard of the osteopenia, and Kelly mentioned that. So where is that, or like, is that written somewhere, or like, can I read about that? Because that's something, it's easier to rebuild muscle mass than to rebuild bone mass. So that's
Yeah.
kind of terrifying.
I Googled it.
Ah,
I
okay.
specifically Googled it. I was talking to some folks that are in the fitness industry who are trainers, and they were mentioning that. And so I Googled it to verify what they were saying, and sure enough, it's there, and it's research that's been done, and that's what they're reporting.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank
Mhm.
you.
Elizabeth?
So is that why they start looking so sick the longer they're on the shots? Because not only are they losing the muscle mass, which I mean, I'm sure you guys can tell when they get to that point, but they're also losing that bone density. And is there any research after the 6 month on these shots without a nutrition support? Do we know long term what it's doing to their gut? That's my
I don't
question.
have any information. I don't know, Kelly, if you have anything.
From what I read, it was varied. It depended on what symptoms people had and what results they were getting as far as long-term effects. And some people weren't having any, and then others were, I mean, it's going to vary with
Mhm.
everybody. So it's, I would say it's a possibility. We always need to be aware of the fact that it's a possibility of something happening, ongoing, even after we stop the injections. I spoke with a man recently who he's been on the injections for over a year up in New York, and lost a significant amount of weight, but he hadn't been working out. So I was visiting with him about all the problems that are occurring from it, that we need to get him on some type of, nutrition plan. And he was kind of, yeah, whatever. I don't think he believed me, but
Mm.
so, and people have to trust you. They have to kind of, and he was going to a physician who was giving him some testosterone injections because he's feeling so tired. And I told him it may not be maybe from something else. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they tested his testosterone. Maybe it was low. Sure. But I was like, there's something else going on here. Let's see what we can do. And then I got crickets. So I was like, I'm not going to bug you. So.
There is a doctor, he is the doctor that is from Weight Watchers, because Weight Watchers provides this drug also through a program called Sequence, and he's very pro-drug. And so, I mean, to answer your question, like, do we have research past 6 months? He's been researching it. I mean, he has things going back for 10 years, because this is not a new drug. This is a new, because GLP-1s weren't made for weight loss. I mean, now Zepbound is approved for that. It was a side effect of drugs. Anyway, he's very positive about it, and he believes on keeping patients, not all of them, but some patients will stand up forever, because people who are addicts to food and they crave it in their brain, the drug turns it off. And so if you want to follow him on Instagram, I mean, I'm not a Weight Watchers member, it's just how I get information, but he puts a lot of documented articles out, and he's very pro-drug. And I'm not saying that he's right, but he has things to back it. And so it's just interesting to read both sides, because you can find a lot of negative Nelly online about the drug. And so he's just a different look. And Debbie, I see your comment. I'll put it in because I never know how to pronounce it, but I can put his Instagram handle in the chat in just a minute. But you could even go back and find some of his posts. He does a lot of reels, and you can see the article that he's talking about. Then you can go Google it. It's a very scientific article. I mean, it's not like written for it's like one of those research study articles, and I don't like to read those because they're boring, but that's how they are.
Yeah,
so.
You're right. The drugs have been around for a long time, and they haven't been as widely pushed and distributed like they are now. And but just FYI, so you guys know, the United States is the only place that's allowing it to be used off-label. And the profits for the company, they've been talking about it. The company's been talking about it. They're based in Europe. And they said our profits are soaring because the Americans, because they're using this drug now off label, and everybody's using it. And we know that there are some, and I know for a fact there are physicians that are really they're participating in insurance fraud, because they're changing the BMIs of people so that it can be covered with insurance for a period of time, but insurance doesn't cover it forever either. And then so they're doing all kinds of things like that. And it is if you think there's not a financial reward for physicians, you're kidding yourself.
Mhm.
So my point is that that is how the pharmaceutical industry works, guys. I'm sorry, that's just how it works. And that is how the doctors are educated. The doctors are educated that these symptoms need this medicine, these symptoms need this procedure. And I'm not anti-medications. I'm not anti any of that when you need something. But there's a whole lot of stuff that they recommend off the bat that say, oh, this is great for prevention, this is great for maintenance, and they don't need it. If people change what they're doing for, through lifestyle change, they don't need all those medications. And every single one of them has multiple side effects that are ongoing, that are detrimental to your health over time. And I worked in lots of different areas of the medical background, but also in nursing homes and long-term care facilities. I've contracted in those most recently, and a lot of the people in there are on all types of maintenance medications, and it's like, why are they still on these medications? And they, they're on, statins that we know statins kill the mitochondria in our cells that are the energy makers for our cells. And gosh, we wonder why these people are in wheelchairs. Well, there may be other reasons why they're in wheelchairs, but that could be a contributing factor. And there's no, sorry to eat up your time, but there's also situations where people are like, oh, the mom is, not feeling good, and we're going to just do comfort care, and then they take them off all their medicines, and then they rally. Well, why do they rally? Because they don't have all those side effects from the multiple medications they were on from before. And they were doing better. So, and it's not that what they was causing them to pass away goes away. It's just that, oh my heavens, do we really need all these medicines forever and ever and ever?
Yeah.
Thanks for the color on that. I saw another question in the chat about when the cereal is coming back. We don't have that information right now, nor on the Flavors of Home. But Optavia did create a new team where we're actually going to be able to get more and better information. So hopefully we'll hear on that soon and be able to have more information to be able to tell you about that kind of stuff. I know one of the questions that you all wanted to make sure we talked about today was, how do we talk about the discount going on and still keep it transformational? And I know a lot of people, and I have a couple of graphics I thought I'd share that I just have seen other coaches share, and I'll put them up on my screen real quick if you want to grab them. This is one that I saw that has March 1st, April 12th, 75 off, initial order, and then more information here. Here's another one.
How do you grab them?
If you want them, I can post them with the recording. Okay. Here's another one that I saw another coach post, and then finally, so I've seen these 3 out there recently. So just wanted to share those ideas, but I know a lot of something that's very common that we're seeing a lot of coaches post about right now are the spring bundles or the fitness bundles. And that can be a very transactional post, or it can be a transformational thing. So I think everything, right, can be transactional or transformational. So wanted to, number one, bring that to everybody's attention as far as like what that is and how you might be able to utilize that, and see if there were any questions. But there are some teams that created this idea of doing spring bundles. And the idea is you put together a bundle of fuelings and like the calorie burn infusers, all kinds of different things, less than $200. It's more than the $175. So you get the $7 of shipping, and you market it to different people. So you might market one to the busy mom that's in carpool all the time, that's not getting good, solid nutrition. And so you can create a transformational post or a transformational conversation around that, and encourage people to, and the idea was and it was Kristen Glass who came up with this idea, but she said she had a dream and she felt like she was a car dealership that was just selling Cadillac Escalades. So she said, you know, with a 5-in-1, I'm just selling the Cadillac Escalade. It's the best, but some people they don't need a Cadillac Escalade. They need a Kia or whatever. And so that's why she started creating these bundles as a way to meet people where they're at and get them an entry point. And maybe it's a conversation that here is the Kia option, but just so you know, you could also have the Cadillac Escalade. But I thought it was a really creative option. So wanted to throw out that idea for those that want to incorporate that. And that's not a bundle that you'll go on and select. It's just a way, it's the wording that they're using, but they're going in and creating these bundles. They're putting $200 of fuelings or few infusers or whatever into a cart and checking out. So, but again, I think it's creative and could be, you absolutely could be transformational with that.
I have a question. So are these bundles where it's like a $200 bundle? That's like not a 30-day supply, because are we still putting the person on 5-in-1, or is it like, so it's just like an introductory, this is a couple weeks to get you started? I mean,
yeah, so this is more for, I mean, you could do it any way you wanted to. It definitely wouldn't be a 30-day supply. But it could be for the busy mom that's in the car all the time. Maybe you get her enough so that she can do, you know, 2 or 3 fuelings a day, you know, and do the math on it. But it's just, it comes in at a lower price point, and it's just a way for people to enter and engage with the products, engage with our process, but not have to be all in the 5-in-1 if they're not ready for that. Obviously, if they are, or if it's a conversation where we can get them ready, it's a slam dunk. We know the 5-in-1 is the Cadillac Escalade out there. But does that help, Debbie?
yeah. I was trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Michelle.
So when they were doing these bundles, which I think is a great idea, I thought of it myself, but wasn't sure how to, I didn't realize about the 175 and all the PQB stuff. So that when they're doing that, they must be doing it as on-demand orders, so that if they do decide to become clients and do the 5-in-1 or something like that, then they could still become a Premier client and get the initial discount as long as they're putting in on-demand orders.
Debbie
Correct?
has some energy around that. I don't have any idea.
I
Full
think
disclosure.
on demand is always going to be full shipping. I don't think that
Okay.
there's a price point break. I think Premier is the only one that you get the $7 opportunity, I think.
Okay.
All right, I can check with client services on that, but yeah, I was just thinking, wow, okay, if you do that and then they do decide to become a client, then they don't get the savings, you know what I mean, around that initial. I mean, you can always offer them some kind of an incentive, like some kind of a wellness credit, but then they're not getting, you know, the $115 savings and things like that. So,
And maybe that's the conversation that you say, hey, we can absolutely do this bundle.
yeah.
But maybe that's the plug in getting them to go the Cadillac Escalade, because they'll save the 115.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Kelly, I see you have your hand raised.
I was curious if they were using the aminos in this bundle possibly, or are they just using the infuser piece?
There's lots of different bundles. So I think the cool thing is you get to create your own bundle. There is an active, I have seen on Facebook, some of these coaches have an active bundle where they have aminos in there. Some they're just fuelings. So essentially they've created bundles based on like, you know, the busy mom, the athlete that's trying to improve their nutrition and get more protein. You know, there's different types of people that they're creating these bundles for, but I think it's based on who do you want to work with and what do they need?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Lucy.
Okay, coming off mute for a minute. So I have created can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm at the nail salon.
Yes.
Okay. And so I did create a bundle, and it's with 5 fuelings, 2 of the snacks, and 2 of the infusers. I put it in the chat, but it went to just Emily as opposed to everybody. And it comes out to $178.25, and it's 162 qualifying volume. And what I did was target my inactive clients that for whatever reason would say financially they couldn't do a 5-in-1 or whatnot. So this is just a way to kind of get them back into the door and work with them from there. And so I want to create one that is going to be for the active ones too, that will include the whey protein, but I haven't yet, or the EAAs, but I haven't yet. And I just sent that out Thursday. I didn't know about, of course, the Commit to Health that's coming up. So now what I'm doing is going to draft an email to all of those same individuals and saying, hey, this started March 1st, wasn't aware it was coming, but you have 2 options. We can be all in for a little bit, just a little bit extra with the 5-in-1, or if you're still wanting to take it slow, we can start with the bundle.
That's awesome, Lucy. And if you go to Kristen Glass's web page, you'll see how she's marketing these bundles. She was the one that had this idea, and she is leading the company right now in Client Support Plus. Actually, her and 6 of her globals are leading the company. So they are the top 7 in the whole company because of these bundles right now. So go to her site and you'll be able to see how she's marketing those. Emily, was that going to be your question? Okay. Awesome. Any other questions around that?
It's on her website or like her Instagram page, or it's
Her Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
I'm on her Facebook page right now. Here, I'll show you to share screen.
In the
So
chat,
here-
in the chat, I just put directions for everybody on how to get to it.
Perfect. Yeah, if you probably search her page under bundles, you'll find it. But she has a transformational post in terms of like the wording she uses. And then here's an Ozempic support bundle. So it's compatible with these drugs. Here's what comes in it. 5 snack boxes of your choice. We know those are fuelings, right? 1 whey protein, amino acids, and a calorie burn infuser. She has some more. Here she's talking about another bundle she has for busy moms. And she puts the sour cream popcorn in there. But if you just look around, and there's some other coaches that also have been utilizing this too. Trying to see if she has any more that pop right up. But there's several images. Here's a spring break snack bundle. Option A, option B, option C. So some good ideas there. Elizabeth, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, so my question is, so now I'm torn. Like, do we launch in with the bundles and not really promote the Commit to Health? Like, use that more for like our inactives and our not yet potentials, and then on the social media end we post these bundles? Or what is this group's thought on that?
Feel free to jump in here if anybody has anything to say. I would say all these bundles came before Commit to Health was announced. So I love the bundle idea. But I think the first market that we have to explore is this Commit to Health. I mean, what an opportunity right now that they won't have, in 5 weeks. These bundles aren't going to go anywhere, right? They'll be here forever. But so I would say let's use Commit to Health, and if for whatever reason they aren't ready to commit or whatever, then we can talk about if a bundle would be another option or alternative. But I love how both of these things are going to help get us qualified for convention, because they're going to help bring up our volume and get us to hopefully get that Client Support Plus bonus.
I think I'm going to lead with the Commit to Health, but I have a few clients that are done. They're done. They're still doing really, really well, but they're very into fitness. And I'm thinking, ooh, I could create a bundle and be like, hey, I've got this other part, the active program that we can use to enhance your fitness journey or your health journey. You know, like I can see doing that, but I agree with you on the timing is like right now it's focus on the Commit to Health.
So one thing real quick with convention or summer event. So you have to be ED for 3 months and you have to have earned the client support bonus one of those 3 months, correct?
There's two ways to do it. I'm going to pull it up on my screen with my notes. So forgive me, but so you can qualify. Either you reach the rank of executive director 3 of 6 months and you earn the CSB one time, or this is the way most of us will qualify. We earn the client support bonus 3 times and we maintain 2,000 of frontline volume for 3 of 6 months. So one or the other. I would say this would be probably an easier route to go, the second route. So client support plus bonus 3 times at some point in the 6 months, and then 2,000 in frontline volume. Is that helpful?
Thank you. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions about that?
I really like that timing of the Commit to Health, because I don't know how many of you ladies are around a cookie bomb or a Girl Scout bomb, but we are finishing out cookie sale season like this week. And so nationwide, there's going to be a whole group of moms that are coming out dazed and confused. And this is an opportunity for us to have like arms wide open and I got you. So
Great. All right. Did we answer all the questions everybody had? I see Lucy has a question. Does the 2,000 in Client Support Plus have to occur in the same months? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if anybody else does. I would imagine, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speak wrong.
And off topic, before we get off, I put that recipe on the executive director's page. I didn't want to put it in the regular coaches page because nobody would know what I was talking about. So it's on the ED Facebook group.
Yeah. Thank you, Shauna. That's perfect. All right.
Anything else we need to know, Meg? That you can tell us? Anything?
Anything.
Anything.
So tonight our celebration call is going to be on the 4 Ds that work against your dream. I was hoping that we'd have time today on this call to kind of go through that, but it's coming from Jamie Kern Lima. She did a 12-hour event that was free last Saturday. I have watched it 4 times. I'm going on the 5th time. It was incredible. And it's a 12-hour event. Like it's crazy. It's so good. But the speaker that we're going to highlight tonight is just phenomenal. So if you have time, it's still free on YouTube. It's called Unstoppable. But highly recommend that. I mean, it's just
I think I posted the free link in our coach page.
good.
I can do it again or tag it.
Thanks, Connie.
Yep.
So worth a listen. But Ed Milet is the one that we're going to focus on tonight. Each speaker is like 20 minutes. They're short, but she has Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Oprah Winfrey. I mean, Ellen DeGeneres, like every, person in the world that, is famous is on that thing. So it's power packed.
John Maxwell,
John Maxwell. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. No, not Will Smith, unfortunately. Not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's not on it.
He's fallen out of grace. He was really
Yeah.
like, I was like, wow, and no.
Yeah. Yeah. He's on pause for right now. Well, cool. Well, appreciate y'all taking time on a Monday to just spend time together as a community group. I know this is a hard season, a different season. And so just want you to know we see you and we're grateful to be partnered with you. And
Thank you
see-
for hosting us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, those slides from Saturday you said you'd send, or did you send out the email?
I
Sorry.
did. Yeah. Thank you for that reminder. All right. Bye, friends. Have a great day.